Hello everybody, this is the NAMA facility. This is Søren Lütgen and my name is Nicole Rudner. We are advisors at the NAMA facility, and the NAMA facility is a climate financing instrument financing nationally appropriate mitigation action. It means we're financing implementation as opposed to NAMA preparation. And we're not financing adaptation either, but mitigation. So the NAMA facility has been founded by the German and the British Ministries of Environment in 2012 and is by now co-funded by the European Commission and Denmark. Since 2012, we had 3 calls for proposals for NAMA support projects and received about 140 proposals. And we're constantly evaluating these proposals and drawing our lessons learned. And one thing that we saw from those proposals is that one issue, and this is why we're going to talk about this today, is the issue of financial mechanisms is seriously underdeveloped. And the financing mechanism for us are key to NAMA support projects and to NAMAs and are very important to us. And why this is so important has to do with 2 topics. Let's say for us it's with the topic of transformational change and with the topic of implementation readiness. So Søren, when we start with transformational change, what do you understand by transformational change and why are financing mechanisms important for that?
Well, when the NAMA facility was launched in 2012, it was launched with the requirement to promote transformational changes in those countries that were implementing NAMAs. And that word used in this context was new, but welcomed in the sector in general, simply because it was understood as being a signal that the changes that we are needing in order to meet the 2-degree target, and now between 1.5 and 2, is more than just change, but it's in fact a transformation that we're looking for. But we were all left with intuitively understanding what does that mean. It does not have a definition. Other programs have adopted the term as well. Researchers have been looking into what could it mean, but it still remains, in fact, without definition. So when we here at the NAMA facility are looking at transformational change, what we are looking for can be expressed, I think, with 3 central requirements that we are hoping to be met by applicants. One is we would like to see what we could call a paradigm shift. What does that mean then? What is a paradigm shift? Well, a paradigm shift to us would be a significant change in, for instance, the use of technology. And one example could be that we are seeing air conditioning established or set up by households in housing blocks. They're all putting their AC units on. We've all seen that. Houses full of AC units on the outside. And one paradigm shift could be we are now changing that into being central air conditioning. That would require that there would be building regulation, and the investors would then change from the private households to the developers of the buildings. So that could be a paradigm shift. We'll also be looking for a relatively quick shift from one situation to another. Not overnight, of course, but we would like to see a change which is sort of ahead of the game, one which is not happening anyway, which would be the business as usual, but we are looking at one that would be happening quicker than would otherwise have been expected. And then the most important part is that we would like to see the transformations being permanent. We are in with a temporary financing, say 5 years, maximum in fact 5 years. And we would not like to see a situation falling back to where it came from when our support is out. So the permanence of the change is also to us a significant part of the definition of a transformation.
Okay, now having talked about what we understand by transformational change, we the NAMA facility, how do financial mechanisms come into the picture?
Any change that you would see in use of technology or the behavior of those people or corporations or even public sector entities, any change in behavior that they may do in order to choose the lower emission alternative would be reflected in the cash flows. And cash flows are intricately linked, of course, with the financing mechanisms. The financing mechanisms are in fact part of the cash flow. So, say again, the AC units to go from split units to central air conditioning, you see a shift in cash flow simply because private households stop buying air conditioners and developers start buying them. But that's a different kind of units. So that is a significant shift in cash flows that can be detected and can also be promoted by different financing mechanisms that we will be setting up within our facility. That's what we're looking for. Now, how to determine how big a cash flow change is needed in order to signify a transformational change, that would be case by case, and that would be for the applicants to demonstrate that this shift in cash flow and this financing mechanism that we have put in place in order to achieve this shift in cash flow is in fact so significant that it must be considered a transformation.
So on our paper on transformational change that is on the NAMA Facilities website, we have a couple of keywords, or we do mention a couple of keywords like replicability, scalability, innovative potential, regulations, behavior change. How does that come together with the financing mechanism?
Well, these are terms that mainly link with the issue of permanence. That means we are looking for changes that we will be participating in starting, but we are just as interested in seeing them evolve, develop, expand, and on a permanent basis. I mean, it's not something that ends when the NAMA facility is out, but something that in fact continues and expands when we have left. And we want to see evidence that this has actually been considered in